Ashok Khemka, the senior Haryana IAS officer who shot into news a year back for cancelling the mutation of a land deal between Robert Vadra and DLF. Since then, Khemka has been transferred several times and continues to be transferred for exposing corruption in whichever post he is in. Is this an open witch hunt against Khemka, or is he vindictive in his dealings? Ashok Khemka joins us now. Thanks, Ashok, very much for being with us. My first question to you, one of the points in the charge sheet against you is very clear, that there were close to 3,000 land deals in the districts that you were looking in the areas that you were looking in, yet you chose to focus only on Robert Vadra. You were being vindictive. How do you respond to this charge?
Vishnu, I will not reply to the charge in the media. It's a legal process. The charge sheet has been issued. Disclosure of the charge sheet in the media by the state government, I think, is highly vindictive. It is predetermining the cause. It is an act of criminal defamation, and I, on my part, will not submit a defense since it's a quasi-judicial procedure, and the reply to the charge sheet will be submitted to the government for it to take a considered decision.
So let me rephrase that question. Were you being vindictive against Robert Vadra?
Again, I think this issue I would not like to discuss in the media, that what are the charges contained in the charge sheet or what is my reply to the charges, because now a quasi-judicial legal process has commenced by the issuance of this charge sheet, and I will be submitting my reply to the state government.
Okay.
But since the state government has chosen in a very unprecedented manner to publish this charge sheet in the media, and a copy of this charge sheet has appeared in a particular Hindi daily even before the charge sheet is served upon me, I have written to the state government that I reserve my right also to clear my name by publishing my reply to the charges in the charge sheet.
So therefore,
so that is it.
So
it's
therefore,
not that I need to see
but
the
then
records.
That being the case, Ashok, why don't you answer the question? I know you won't answer the exact words, and we're getting into legal jargon over here, but I'm asking you a basic question. Were you being vindictive against Robert Vadra or not?
Vishnu, you hypothesize why I should be vindictive against Mr. Robert Vadra by cancelling the mutation on the ground that the officer who had done so was not competent to do so.
Yes.
Where is the question of vindictiveness here?
The argument is
but
that
again,
you overstated your brief.
I don't want to get into
Ashok.
a one-on-one with you.
The argument is that you overstated. And this has been said
Vishnu,
not just in this has been said
Vishnu,
for a long
time. You had
time.
called me to the channel not to discuss the charge sheet, but to discuss the manner of serving the charge sheet and the manner of publishing the charge sheet in the media.
We will get to those points.
And I had opted to...
We will get to those points, Ashok. And without
Vishnu, I am not here. Let me be very blunt to you, Vishnu.
Okay.
Let me be very blunt to you, Vishnu. I am not discussing the charges and my reply to it. The charges were served upon my minor son yesterday night at 8:30 p.m. at my residence. I have come from outstation. I was on outstation leave. I have come today. I have not even got a chance to look at the charges. It is very presumptuous when the charge sheet can lead to my dismissal from service to make a reply to those charges in the media.
Okay.
I have not, look Vishnu, I have not come to the media to discuss the replies to the charges and to discuss it. I think
I see the
unfair.
point that you're making. I see the point you're making. You feel that by discussing the points in the charge sheet, you may be prejudicing your own case. I take that point, but you are still appearing, and by appearing, you choose to come on the media. And yet a few minutes back, you said that the charge sheet itself was leaked to the media. So on the one hand, the government may be going to the media, but in a sense, you're also going to the media.
No, I am going to the media. I have come to the media on your request to discuss the issue of the manner of serving the charge sheet. I have not come to the media at this instant to discuss the charges and the
Okay.
replies thereof.
Fair point.
The media
Now,
is not
fair
going
point.
to
Ashok, so let's focus then on what you
decide
told me
on the
earlier
charges.
on the manner in which the charge sheet was actually served. It was not served on you directly, it was served to your son late at night. It seems the government couldn't wait a day, even though you had applied for a half-day leave. They could have issued it this morning, but instead they chose not to.
Yes, Vishnu, the charge sheet was served upon my minor son, who is 16 years and 11 months old to be precise, at 8:30 p.m. in the night at my residence. Now, when my son informed the bearer that my father is not here, he is in Delhi, he was forced to accept delivery, failing which he was told that the refusal will be recorded. Now, a boy of this tender age, who knows that his father is in trouble, he accepted delivery of the charge sheet. Now, I have asked only one question to ask: what is the manner of serving the charge sheet? A charge sheet is always served upon the officer concerned unless he chooses to be a fugitive. Now, I am in my office today. The charge sheet could have been served upon me today. The process is, if the charge sheet is not served upon the officer, cannot be served upon the officer, a copy is pasted at his residence and a publication is made thereof that, look, you come and collect the charge sheet. If you do not do so, we have pasted a copy thereof, and a copy will be published by gazette notification and a copy prominently in the national media. This is the set procedure. This is no way of serving a charge sheet at the residence in the night to the minor son and then promptly publish the charges in a newspaper daily.
Okay.
I think this is not it is not that the government should, I think, show its bona fide and its conduct, because it is going to act as the judge. These authorities who are prosecuting me will also act as the judge. So as a judge, they should not only be fair, but they should also appear to be fair.
All right, Ashok,
now, by doing this, what kind of justice
you
do
couch
you
your
think I will
language
expect in the
very,
charge
very
sheet?
carefully, without to ensure that you are legally okay as far as the case against you is concerned. But let me ask you a blunt question. Do you believe that by serving these charge sheets upon you, this is not the first one, the government is trying to ensure that you are ultimately dismissed from service?
No, I do not know what. See, it is, government is a very ambiguous kind of a word. It is always the authorities in position in the government who abuse
So
their
are these
position.
authorities in
So
position
all
in the
chief
government
ministers
trying to
or the
ensure
ministers
that you are
think they-
dismissed, to use your own words?
Exactly. You see, this is a major penalty charge sheet under Rule 8 of the All India Service Discipline and Appeal Rules. And one of the prescribed penalties is termination from service. So, since the charge sheet involves termination from service and these kind of allegations that I was vindictive against Mr. Robert Vadra, as if I had a prior dealing with Mr. Robert Vadra. What was my alternate conduct? Should I have left Mr. Robert Vadra's land deal simply because he is Mr. Robert Vadra and only the poor man has to be touched or tackled? And simply because he belongs to the member or comes from a particular ruling political family, he should be let scot-free? Let's discuss the order on merits. Vishnu, there is 14 months have passed. The order has not been appealed against. You must appreciate that. If my order was vindictive, as the charge sheet says, if there was any flaw in the order, he has access to the best of advocates. He can afford the best of advocates. Similarly, DLF can afford the best of advocates. They can approach any court in the country. They could have simply challenged the order in an appropriate court, got it set aside, and then the government could have acted upon the way it is acting. Now that order is final.
So
Where
are you
is the
therefore
grievance?
saying
Is
that
there any
the
complaint
government,
from
so
either
are you
Mr.
therefore
Robert
saying that
Vadra
the
or his
government is
company or
acting
DLF?
on behalf of DLF and Robert Vadra by issuing this charge sheet? Because again, I don't know if you're going to answer this directly, but one of the charges in that in the charge sheet is directly how you were working against Robert Vadra or DLF and besmirching their reputation.
No, it is not working against. See, working for and working against are value loaded terms. I was doing my public duty as Director General Consolidation, delegated the powers of the state government.
Okay.
Now, what is the question posed by you is a value loaded judgment that's best left to the interpretation of the anchor and the viewers.
All right, fair enough. I think there is a lot that you have said today.
The state government in a quasi judicial capacity.
I understand what you're saying, but just by appearing and by addressing or some of the larger issues over here, I think you are making a point. Obviously, an issue which is couched in a great deal of legalese. It's about your future in the IAS as well. It's about the security of your family. It's also fundamentally about the larger issue of corruption and how a lot of people say that you have been constantly hounded by the state government. I know you won't answer these questions directly, but thank you so much for speaking whatever you've said this evening on the Buck Stops.
Thank you, Vishnu.